All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here reporting in for another unit breakdown or comb over or whatever you want to say. Kind of taking a look today at Cassian and then his counterpart, K2SO. So I love Cassian and K2, and I think he and K2 are wonderful for Rebels, especially for any other commander, operative, or special forces synchronicity. So I like him. He's in a way somewhat equivalent to what, Iden kind of would be for the Rebels, just a little different, but I really, really like him. And so today we're going to talk about him, and I'm just going to go over maybe like a few lists that he'd be fun in, slash kind of like would work well, slash just kind of, go hand in hand. And also just kind of like a fun list with Han and Chewie, I thought was pretty fun because of teamwork. Lots of teamwork going on. Okay, so if you haven't already, go ahead and head to theburnacademy.com, subscribe for $15 to get access to 12-week, programs, corrective exercise programs, 30 at-home programs, my personal workouts, anything that you need to succeed in the gym, kind of, really good for you. Try to make it quick. And then go ahead and join in on the chat. We just had another person coming in, and it's awesome to see everybody talking and going over, things that people like to, talk about. We're going to, we've been talking about doing a Rex video. We were talking about just, simple list building stuff and, any kind of Empire list or Shadow Collective list that you need help with, go ahead and add it to the chat, and then we'll see, what kind of other stuff we can do. All right. So let's go ahead and get back to Cassian. So let's take a look at him. Cassian Andor, really cool commander. He can be an operative with covert ops. So when you deploy, you can treat your rank as an operative. And if you do, you gain infiltrate. And then with that, you will have to nominate another commander who will either be special forces or core. He has danger sense 3. So if he has 3 suppression, he can roll an extra white dice for each of those suppression. So if 2 hits go through and he's already got 2 suppression, you can roll 4 dice because you can add those 2 up to 3. Loadout. So when you deploy, you may swap out any of your equipped upgrades with your set aside upgrades. So there's a few ways you can play him because he can infiltrate. You can play him where he infiltrates in, gets really, really close, tries to steal the supplies or tries to flank. There's lots of ways to support that. And you can have a close range gun or his sniper config. And if he recovers, you can, change it out. Instead of like Iden, you have to take one over the other. This one, he's, you just got to recover and you can flip him over. And then Marksman. So when you're attacking, you can spend an aim to improve any attack dice result. So, some of his command cards give him an aim. So you can use that. And then whenever you take an aim, if you're shooting with the sniper rifle, it's an easy way to get crits through, and it is already pierce. So that super helps. And then, with tactical 1, after you perform a standard move, you gain an aim token. So that's really, really, really nice. Now he doesn't have, steady or relentless, so you can't just move, gain 2 aims and shoot. Now, if you're Callus, he's got tactical 1, and then he can also have his bow staff, so he can move, gain 2 aims, and then he's got charge with his bow staff, so he can use both of those aims if he needed to, which is really, really nice. But yeah, so for him, he would just probably move and then shoot, which is a great way to generate more aims for him, especially out of the sniper config. He's got 6 health, 2 courage, white dice. He does surge to both, which is really, really nice. So, and then if you don't take anything, at range 1 to 2, he's shooting just a normal red, 2 white, pierce 1. Not that bad, but for 10 points to be able to take any kind of config with Marksman and pierce, again, already built into it, it's really, really nice. So let's take a look right here. So 1 to infinity. So his sniper rifle is a red and a black with surge. It's cumbersome, so you can't move and shoot during the same activation at all. So you can't shoot and then move with cumbersome. You still have to, you could probably aim and shoot, dodge and shoot, but you can't move, period. High velocity. So when you're attacking with this weapon, an enemy unit cannot spend dodge tokens. So that's really, really nice against force users, really nice against pikes, really nice against anyone who, especially rebels, who like to use dodge tokens. It's also pierce 1, and then you can refigure. So no, when you recover, you can flip this card. And then if you wanted to, he can recover and then immediately get into range 1 to 2, add a red dice to the attack pool. He's got long shot, so when you're attacking, you can spin an aim to increase the weapon's maximum range by 1. So he's got tactical 1. So you could move, gain that aim, and then technically shoot at someone at range 3. It's already pierce, but he doesn't have sharpshooter or anything, so you're just going to be hoping it gets through cover. But, with surging and, he's going to have a pretty good chance, hopefully, of getting through cover. But yeah, for 10 points, I think that's perfect. And like I said, you can take an aim, and then if it's a hit, you can make one a crit. And then if it's, that's getting through cover and it is pierce. So he's pretty much like a sniper. And then for the, training upgrades, there's a few different ways that you can do this. It just kind of depends on what you want. You can do duck and cover to give him that extra suppression, but I don't know how that goes. It just kind of depends. Endurance wouldn't be that bad, but I don't think you need it. Hunter would be great to generate more aims. I think Hunter would be perfect. I mean, endurance and duck and cover go well on him, but I don't think you need it on him, especially if you can keep him in the back. And with danger sense, you can remove suppression or not. And then, I think endurance could be okay, but honestly, I always either choose Hunter, or maybe if you wanted seize the initiative, if you wanted up close and personal, if you wanted situational awareness, I think that those are the best. Maybe Overwatch if you wanted, but I doubt it. Offensive push, sure, it's a cheaper way of getting that aim other than Hunter. And you'd probably be able to use offensive push against anybody rather than having to make sure it has a wound. And you do have a command card that allows you to recover. So offensive push, again, wouldn't be that bad. And I think it would be a good choice. Now, if you wanted to keep him in the back, I think Hunter would be pretty good because he can take an aim. And then if he's shooting at someone who is wounded, like, a forced user who's got multiple wounds and probably once dodges, you're going to be able to generate those 2 aims to get crits through and, get through cover or anything he needs. You also have anything else. So if you're going to play him close, I think situational awareness would be good, and or seize the initiative. Those 2 would be pretty good together because if he's getting in close with, with K2SO, which we'll talk about in a second, he's got teamwork. So anytime K2SO gets an aim or dodge, so will Cassian Andor. And then K2 also has calculate the odds, which will be able to put an aim, dodge, and suppression onto Cassian, which gives him another dodge. So maybe situational awareness wouldn't be that bad. Also, his command cards. There's a command card that will allow him to gain dodges as well. So if you wanted to make him a little bit beefier, you can put that on there. Or with Hunter, you could do seize the initiative. Maybe if you really, really wanted duck and cover and or offensive push. The other great, gear that I would put on him would be ascension cables. If you're going to really play him aggressive, maybe emergency stems. Prepared supplies. And maybe recon intel if you wanted to get him in close. But I think, having the extra dodge with prepared supplies, and then maybe you also had situational awareness on him, that'd be really good for making sure he stays alive kind of a little bit longer. Ascension cables I see a lot because you can get him in and out or over something really fast, and that would help him get away a little bit easier. And since he's got a card that'll allow him to recover, it'll recover the ascension cables back. So that's usually another good strategy to use. And then let's kind of go over K2SO. So K2SO, calculate the odds. So choose a friendly trooper unit at range 1 and in line of sight. It gains an aim, a dodge, and a suppression token. Now, you're not going to be sharing the suppression token with Cassian. So, like, if you calculate the odds on Cassian, that suppression won't go on to K2, but he will gain the aim and a dodge. K2 has armor 1, so when defending, you can cancel up to a hit result. He is a droid trooper. So if you're going to heal him, you're going to need one of the astromech droid to be able to heal him. He's going to be a detachment from Cassian, so a movement 1 away when you deploy. Incognito, which I think is perfect on this guy. So you cannot be attacked by enemy units beyond range 1 unless you've already performed an attack or used an objective card action during this game. So if you want to keep him quiet and move him in as close as possible, don't attack Don't go after objectives with him until he is like pretty much right on top of another objective or getting pretty close to someone. There's a way to take a gun with him. If you wanted, you could take Jin's rifle or Jin's pistol and give it to him for 10 points. He already surges to crit. It's 5 white and it's suppressive. So that's a lot of dice. It's good. White. I like surging to crit, especially with all that dice. 5 health, 2 courage, red dice for defense. Really, really nice. And 4 red dice for melee. So if you can get him in super close with incognito and then just wreak havoc with surge to crit, 4 red dice, that would be absolutely amazing for only 70 points without a gun. So now if we did this, it's Pierce 1, which is fantastic. So you're surging to crit, Pierce 1, 5 white dice, range 1 to 2. So you're already going to be in close and suppressive. wouldn't be such a bad idea. I don't always take it because maybe I'm just trying to get close and really just go after that back objective and get him in there as fast as I can. If you really wanted to, Jin's blaster isn't, like I said, that bad of an idea in case you do get close enough. If we were to go with maybe a comms, on him, comms jammer would be really, really good. Comms relay wouldn't be that bad just for his 3-pip, for K2's 3-pip especially. Or maybe if, you were trying to give out orders to him, you could use comms relay to give it to somebody else. Emergency transponder, always, I feel like is a good choice. HQ uplink wouldn't be that bad. Hacked comms unit wouldn't be that bad because, if you're going to be getting in close anyway, and maybe he's going to be away from the rest of the army, hacked comms unit, during the issue order steps of the command phase, after an enemy unit at range 1 is issued an order, you can issue yourself an order. So that way you're already ready. That wouldn't be that bad because, again, he can't get shot until he's that close. And then long range, it's okay. I'd rather put either comms jammer, comms relay, or hacked comms unit on there, which, I think is better. Mostly comms jammer because then if you're getting in that close and no one's going to be able to give an order to them. Yeah. But yeah, so that's, K2 and Cassian. Let's go over command cards real quick, especially before I forget. Crack shot, super, super nice. So Cassian Andor gains Gunslinger and an aim. So per se, he's sitting in the back on top of a building or around a building, and maybe he's got ascension cables on there. He's got his sniper rifle out. He's going to gain Gunslinger, so he can attack, 2 units. He can use his dice, so he's going to have a red and black he can shoot 2 units with. He's also going to have an aim, and then he can take an aim. So you can start with 2 aims, shooting at 2 different units, and if, you need to, you can spend any of those aims to fix dice to crits, and then make sure you get that pierce, or, re-roll both of them. It just kind of depends. I think it's great. And then at the end of his activation, he can gain a suppression token, which will help with his danger sense, and he gains a standby token. And he's got, obviously range 1 to 2 with that standby. It's very, very similar, in my opinion, to the Iden's 1-pip, except I think Iden's is better. Big time. Just because she's better, in my opinion. I like her. Whatever. So it's really nice because if he's close, he's shooting with his range 1 to 2. He can get that free aim to make it range 1 to 3, and then he can take an aim to make sure that he can get some dice through. And that's just up to you. So I think that's always a good one to take. Last stand. So when Cassian Andor issues an order to a commander or an operative unit, that unit gains Indomitable, meaning that you can roll red defense dice to roll off suppression, and you're going to gain an aim, a dodge, or a suppression for each wound that you have up to 3. And this is Cassian and 1 trooper. So say, again, like I said, other operatives, other commanders, and other special forces usually benefit from Cassian. So if you're going to take Cassian, in my opinion, I kind of try to team him up with other of those units so that his command cards go a little bit farther. And, if you have Sabine, which I've seen a lot with, or Luke, and he's got 3 wounds, he's going to be able to gain, 3 dodges, or an aim and 2 dodges, or whatever. And you might not need the suppression because on Luke or anyone, because, unless you wanted it, that's like cover if he's already got courage 4 for operative Luke, so it wouldn't be that bad. to have because he's still going to get those 2 actions. And then, like I said, he's going to be able to get those dodges. So I would give him like 3 dodges. And then with Cassian, same thing. If he's got any wounds, this is really, really good to use. All right. And then here we go. So volunteer mission, the other 3 pips. So Cassian and 2 troopers. When Cassian issues an order to a commander, operative, or special forces unit, that unit recovers. It's going to gain danger sense and gain a suppression. So if you are bringing maybe some Pathfinders, which in World War II were really cool, by the way. But if you're bringing some Pathfinders with them, they've got danger sense. And so it's also going to build up on that. And then they're going to gain a suppression. So hopefully it will help. And they're going to be able to recover. So if they've already got a lot of suppression on them, they can all recover and then gain another suppression so that they still get those 2 actions, but still have the danger sense and still have cover. It's really, really, really nice to have. And I mean, you can give that to any commander, operative, or special forces, which is why I say I think Cassian's really, really good with, like I said, Sabine, Luke, Mandos. If you wanted some Wookiees, sure. And yeah, and Pathfinders and Jin, because of the fact that they're going to all be able to recover, move some things around, change, the configs around if they have to, take off that suppression. It's just really, really good. And then I'm trying to think if there's any, like if you're really close, yeah, I would just use it to when you have to have that recover for sure. Sacrifice, this is perfect that if you were to infiltrate in your blue player and you infiltrated on the recover the supplies in the middle and you had to detach K2, what you could do is you're giving it to Cassian and K2. You can go with Cassian first, go ahead and pick up that box and move within that range 1 still or at range 1 of K2. And then K2 is going to go ahead and gain Guardian 4. So if anyone tries to shoot at Cassian, K2 is going to be able to take those wounds. And then at the end of K2's activation, you can choose another friendly commander or operative unit at range 1. So like if he infiltrated, he's become an operative now. So you're going to be able to choose another operative unit at range 1 and in line of sight of K2SO. And if you do, you have to defeat K2SO, but enemy units cannot perform ranged attacks against the chosen unit until the end of this round. So Cassian's going to be completely safe there in the middle. And then you probably go with Cassian's 1 pip and you try to move, gain that extra aim, and then hopefully you can shoot at range 3 of anything. And yeah, do a lot. K2's off the board. It's only 70 to 80 points, which isn't the worst. And you keep that box alive. Now that's just one instance. If maybe near the end of the game, he's still there and he's still alive and Cassian is around that objective or around that hostage, anything like that, it's perfect. So even if Cassian winds up picking up the hostage and then you use sacrifice to make sure he gets away, there's lots of ways to use this card, but it's very kind of situational in a way. So you just got to be careful if you do bring it, but it's not that bad. And objective wise, so let's just kind of go over some objectives that he's definitely going to be good at. Key positions for sure. Breakthrough, depends on what other units you decide to bring. So if you brought them and Mandos, breakthrough would probably be really good. Intercept the transmissions wouldn't be that bad. The key positions for sure, because again, he can stay on that back with the sniper. K2SO can try to move into that back objective if he can maneuver his way without getting into that range 1 of anyone. Recover the supplies, he'd be really, really good at. Sabotage the moisture evaporators. Maybe if you can, infiltrate in as close to their moisture evaporators as possible, maybe you'll stop them from doing a lot and hopefully get in. That's not the best, strategy, but yeah, it's a way to do it. Hostage exchange would be good because then again, with the 3 pip, you can use Cassian to pick up a dead hostage unit and pick up that hostage and not get shot again. Bombing run. Again, maybe if you have Mandos, for sure. And payload also wouldn't be that bad because he's going to be able to walk and gain those aims. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of build something if we can. So maybe we don't bring that at the moment, and we just bring Hunter and his config. Let's bring Sabine, and then I'll go over one with Luke as well. So we have Sabine. I like Sabine a lot, and I always bring her with the Darksaber, mostly because of that Dauntless and immune to Pierce. So if she's got to go into melee with a Force user, somehow she's at least immune to Pierce. Impact 1, Pierce 1, and it's important with that Dauntless for her to get that extra move to get in, and she's speed 3, so that always works. Now for the training slot, it's kind of tough. She's great with up close and personal for that extra dodge because she's got Gunslinger. So she's got jump 2, and maybe I'll do something on her in a little while. Impervious, nimble. So anytime she gains that aim, she's going to be able, or dodge, she's going to be able to keep it after the attack and use it during the entire round. Impervious and stuff, really, really nice. So up close and personal, it's even got her on there. Would be good because she's range 1 to 2. Situational awareness, I also think would be pretty good on her. Tenacity, sure. There's definitely an argument for that on there because of the Darksaber. If you can get her in close, and she's with her 1 pip, she's probably getting in close. So it wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Offensive push would also be pretty good. Seize the initiative, maybe. It depends on how aggressive you want to be with her. And she's already surging everything, so you don't need that. Hunter, I probably wouldn't do. Endurance, maybe, is also a good one for her. Not duck and cover. But yeah, maybe you want to. I usually take situational awareness because of the dodge and nimble. She can consistently cancel crits the whole time. Now the gear, this is where it kind of gets fun and interesting. So I like taking Electro Grappling Line because it's basically, Boba Fett's 1 pip, but it's not free. It's an action. And maybe, you absolutely need this to stop someone from moving into a key position or moving into range of intercept the transmissions, or maybe they've got a box and you need to slow them down. I always feel like I like Electro Grappling Line, and it's also thematic in a way. And then I always take Personal Combat Shield for sure. Now, if you wanted, there's maybe a good argument for Prepared Supplies, especially with Nimble. Emergency Stems, really, if you wanted to, but I like her own upgrades. Now, let's go ahead and at the moment, just do what we can with our core and just go with our Cortex. We've definitely got to go with Clan Ren if we're going with Sabine. We're going to go ahead and attach those two, and they've got retinue. So if we take a look at them, they're going to have nimble retinue. So at the start of the activation phase, if you're at range 1 to 2 of Sabine, you can gain an aim or a dodge. I usually take situational awareness. That's me. Offensive push is also really good on them. Up close and personal, sure, yeah, because they are naturally range 1 to 2. But Tristan has a range 1 to 3 gun, and it is suppressive. And so sometimes you want those aims. So again, offensive push wouldn't be that bad. Hunter also wouldn't be that bad because Ursa is going to gain something from an aim. So long shot when attacking, if you spend an aim token, you can increase the weapon's range by 1. Or with Tristan, if you spend an aim token, you can make a pierce. So they definitely like aim tokens as well, which is why Hunter wouldn't be that bad. Offensive push wouldn't be that bad, and situational awareness wouldn't be that bad. Now, I would mostly take situational awareness when I know I'm giving them as many dodges as possible, but maybe with this one, you want to take offensive push. That way you could just really do some damage. Jetpack rockets is not as effective on them as they are a regular unit, because with the regular unit, you can have 4. And so you give yourself the Beskar Duelist. And with him, he's going to be in melee, and you want them in melee. They can have the offensive push for sure. And if you honestly wanted to upgrade them with the jetpack rockets to get some anti-armor, you can. And then you've got 9 activations, 786. That's not that bad. With Cassian, Sabine, K2, you've got some good leaders up here. And then also you have Clan Ren. So in my opinion, that's 4 threats in a way, because Clan Ren is pretty hefty. They've got 2 hit points each. They surge to defense with red dice. Super, super nice. And they can get into that range 3 with that extra aim. So now that we have a little bit of wiggle room, we have 14 points left. If you wanted to maybe upgrade maybe a Rebel Trooper with portable scanner, you can.
let's see, 14 points. I don't think you're going to be able to get a commander or anyone in there. Yeah, because that's 16. Maybe if you wanted to, instead of offensive push, give them situational awareness. That would give you that 16 points, and you can give yourself that extra rebel officer for inspire and courage 2. So that way, most of your entire army is courage 2. You don't have enough for a medical droid. You can do 2 rebel trooper specialists to make sure you gain that extra dodge when you need it. And then that'll put you at exactly that 800 points on activations. I don't think I've been able to really get a good Cassian, K2, Sabine, Clan Ren, Mandalorian resistance with 10 activations, but I think it's always a fun list with Cassian. Now, let's clear this. I'm going to go visit some of the lists that I made with Cassian a little bit ago just for this. There's tons of them right here. I love me some Cassian. So let's just go with Cassian and Operative Luke. 10 activations, 799. We have, Hunter. And if you need a little bit more of a bid, it's basically if you need a little bit more of a bid, you can probably take away the blaster, but that's just up to you. And you don't need offensive push per se on here. It's just extra if you need it. Then Luke Skywalker is going to have Force Push, Saber Throw, Tenacity, Burst of Speed for this one, making him just kind of wanting to get in as fast as possible and close that in. Rebel Officer is giving out some dodges as much as possible and trying to keep some dodges. Now, if you wanted to, I did a lot more Rebel Veterans and Medium 2 Blaster. I also did a full Commando unit with the Sniper instead of just, the strike team. But if you wanted to save some points and put a little bit extra on the actual just the rebel maybe you wanted a few extra points to be able to put a heavy on the rebel troopers. Give yourself the DLT 20, and now everyone's got a heavy. You've got 10 strong activations. You're looking at, range 4, range 4, range 5, range 3 here. Your rebel officer is just kind of helping support, so you've got a good gun line right here, especially with fire support with the medium blasters and your rebel officer giving out some dodges. Luke's going in as fast as he can. K2 is going in, maybe flanking and making sure that everyone's scared of K2 getting in with incognito. And then maybe Cassian's in the back using his sniper rifle to just take out as many people as he can coming towards Luke because it's range 1 to infinity. And then, like I said, with all of these super long range and then K2 and Luke just walking in, I think you've got a pretty good chance of hopefully keeping Luke alive and or getting those objectives from your opponent. Now, I didn't do any objectives, but what we'll do is for that, there's nothing super fast, so not breakthrough. Intercept the transmissions wouldn't be that bad because then we can keep Luke in that middle if we needed to. And then, Cassian can keep shooting at the back objective, making sure no one gets as close as possible. Or when they do expose themselves, making sure he kind of wears them down. K2SO can work his way to the back objective eventually and then kind of go ham if he needed to. Maybe you don't want the blaster, but you just keep him to where he's got comms jammer, so no one can do anything. You still have an 8-point bid at that point. And then also, if you wanted to give Cassian the ascension cables, boom, you have that. And you still have enough to give him situational awareness in case you did want to infiltrate him in closer. Now, if you wanted, you could take that away, keep comms jammer. You've got the 8 points left. Maybe you can do situational awareness on the veterans. When you give them an order, they're going to get a dodge, so they can use that situational awareness to cancel those crits that they get. And then use the commander strike team to kind of help cover Luke. Cassian can help cover Luke. K2 can help flank. Rebel officers are helping your long range guys over here and helping get suppression off. I think that's pretty strong, thing to do. So intercept key positions would be great because you can keep Cassian back there, recover the supplies. You can infiltrate with Cassian. Hostage exchange, boom. I think you've got really good, I mean, he's going to be almost good at almost everything. So if we even deleted that, so besides breakthrough, they wouldn't be that bad at sabotage. They'd be great at hostage exchange. Bombing run, they might not be that great at. Payload, they'd be also pretty good at because again, with the walking and getting the extra aim, but with force push and a bunch of other stuff, I think hostage exchange is a good call. And then deployment, advanced positions, because all you have are troopers, so that would be pretty good. battle lines in case you wanted to spread out, maybe put Luke somewhere, K2 somewhere. That's possible. Disarray, you do have, maybe you didn't infiltrate Cassian, or you have two commanders. That's possible because if you don't infiltrate Cassian, you do have another rebel officer. So you'd have, like, again, two commanders. So that would be pretty cool. But again, Cassian doesn't have anything to help with suppression. So disarray wouldn't be the worst thing, because the rebel officer, again, can help support the troops. And then you've got your own operatives that can go do what the heck they want. Long March, you got so much long range. It's just a matter of trying to get Luke in there without getting killed. So major offensive wouldn't be that bad. Danger close, sure. So, Cassian's got a good kind of close range gun, but with the other force users, I probably wouldn't do it. So maybe I would go with disarray. And because we also have intercept transmissions, key positions, recover the supplies, I wouldn't mind going with Long March. I feel like that would be okay. Conditions. Clear conditions would be fine. Hostile environment. If you can keep everyone pretty much on terrain, hostile environment wouldn't be the worst. Limited visibility, you don't want, even though you do have Luke to get in close. Maybe you want to thin out their army with your long range before Luke gets in and gets killed. Minefield wouldn't be that bad. Rapid reinforcements would be okay with the amount of activations you have. I feel like fortified positions would help your medium blaster a lot. It just kind of depends, because with these, actually, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. You can keep them with the Pierce that you have and with stuff. Fortified positions would be good. Supply drop would also be pretty good. Like I said, clear conditions would be pretty good. And then War Weary, I wouldn't go with War Weary at all. And then, yeah, if your droids, probably War Weary would be good. Maybe rapid reinforcements. Let's go with that one. Sorry that took so long, but yeah. So there's that, guys. I'm going to save that one. And then let's see real quick. I do want to go over, sorry, this is going to be kind of a long little video. Go over some Han and Chewie and Cassian and go over here. Come on. My bad, guys. I'm terrible at this. Okay, so we have Han Solo and Chewbacca. We have 794, 10 activations. They're kind of stacked as much as possible. So we have Han with vigilance, situational awareness, and prepared supplies. That way he can cancel those crits. With the dodge, he doesn't have nimble, so that's why you want prepared supplies. But with Chewbacca, being able to have prepared supplies and take dodges, that helps. K2SO can, calculate the odds on either Han or Chewie so that they get even more dodges. So you can generate as many dodges as possible onto either Han and Chewie with K2 involved. That's always so fun. And with prepared supplies, there's as many possible dodges as they can get before they get in super close. With offensive push on Chewie, being able to get that extra aim and then hand it out to Han if he needed to. I like tenacity on Chewie because that's going to give him 5 red dice surging to crit. So that's super nice. And then Cassian, I gave situational awareness and Hunter for sure. Now, you don't have to have situational awareness on him. Maybe we take that off. With Jin's Blaster, maybe we take it off. I'm going to keep Comm Jammer at the moment. You don't have to have Comm Jammer again. Maybe you wanted to change that out for either hacked comms unit or HQ uplink. That would be pretty good. We have the DLT-20 Trooper on all 3 Rebel units, and then we have the CM93 on the vets, and then we have a full set of commandos with the sniper. And again, so maybe you wanted to take that down so that you can try to get some extra units in somewhere else with Han and Chewie. So we still have another way. We have what, 50, 40, 46 points left. So you could just go with a naked Rebel Trooper unit if you wanted to. But that's pretty much all you're going to wind up getting. And with that extra 6 points, I'm sure you could upgrade anyone else. If you wanted that 11 activation with Han and Chewie. It's just up to you on that one. Now, there's not a lot of special forces, but this, again, the command cards that you can choose with Cassian help the commander operatives, especially volunteer mission and last stand. Now, for all of the orders, I would definitely go with sorry about the mess. I went with push just in case something does happen. Volunteer mission for sure, and notorious scoundrels. Maybe you do want to have. This is up to you guys. Maybe you do want to have reckless diversion. So when an enemy performs an attack, it must attack a trooper that has a face-up order token, and it'd go to Han and a trooper. So maybe it can go to Han and Chewie, but it just kind of depends. I feel like push might be better with the amount of people that you have, and maybe you wanted to go with. Maybe you didn't infiltrate with Cassian, and Cassian's closer, and you wanted to go with Cassian and K2. That that's why I chose it. Key positions: recover the supplies, hostage exchange, and intercept still. Advanced positions, battle lines this time, disarray, and then long march, supply drop, clear conditions, limited visibility. This time, mostly, even though they all have that range 4, it's like Han Solo, Chewbacca, Cassian. Maybe you wanted to go. I know Chewbacca has range 3, but Han's got range 2. Cassian can have range 2 if he wants to move and shoot. So in order to get them in really, really close, maybe you just go with limited visibility. Now, you don't have to have it. You can go with something else if you wanted to. And then I think I've gone over some other Cassian lists before, but if we were to go with, like Cassian and the Pathfinders, no, there's only really no need to have more than 2 of the Pathfinders because of the heavies, but what the heck? Okay. So I have endurance, emergency transponders, prepared supplies, and their config. You can do duck and cover to save a lot of points. That way they can get rid of suppression. I did some fleet troopers to get inside with the frag grenades, the comms tech, and that way they have the emergency transponder. And then, I went with the bus. That way they have the onboard comm channel, so they already get in order. Shriv, the backworld medic to start healing. I have Cassian, K2. I've got a rebel trooper with the astromech over here. I've got R2. So, if we do need to either heal K2 or the bus, we can heal the bus. And then you got your rebel veterans and the Mark II over here. But, Cassian's going to be able to infiltrate in with the rebel Pathfinders and do some fun damage. And then the last list that I wanted to go over was a Cassian and Jyn. So let's take a look at Jyn real quick. So Jyn's got quick thinking, which is really nice because she can spend, instead of just taking a dodge action or an aim action, she gets both. She's got nimble, so she's going to be able to keep that dodge consistently, which is really, really nice. She's got danger sense 4, so you can keep rolling up to 4 extra dice for defense to make sure she definitely stays alive. Infiltrate, so she can just infiltrate in, not covert ops. She can just infiltrate in as the commander with 3 courage, which is really nice with the Pathfinders and Cassian. And then Sharpshooter 1, she's only got melee, so you have to kind of attach a gun to her. But the gun is free. So, and it's Pierce. So Pierce 1, reconfigure. Range 1 to 2, it's a lot deadlier than range 1 to 3. But again, if you just want to recover and flip over to get those, you can. It's not long shot, so you're going to have to spend an action to recover, which is not the greatest. But Cassian does have a card that allows a commander, operative, or special forces to recover for free, giving her the ability to change her over her gun. With Jyn, I would definitely go with vigilance because of nimble and situational awareness to make sure she stays alive a little bit longer with that dodge. And you can go with prepared supplies, honestly, if you wanted to. Again, maybe going with Hunter, definitely going with the config here. If you wanted situational awareness, you can do that. Definitely go with K2. And again, you've got your perfect little Rogue One list. Now let's go to the Pathfinders right over here. Danger Sense 3, Dauntless, and Infiltrate. So all of these guys are going to be able to infiltrate in. And you can have a total, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and, whoops. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to make this complicated. So we're going to go ahead and double it after we put on the free config, which at range 1 to 4 is white, or range 1 to 2 is red, which is super nice to have at range 1 to 2. If you wanted to have duck and cover on them, you can. they're going to be getting shot a lot. So I thought endurance would be pretty good because being able to remove that extra suppression would be really nice because they're going to also be able to give themselves a suppression to move. So that's what I was doing that for. Maybe you wanted to have them have some prepared supplies because they're getting in dirty. And now from there, we'll go ahead and give them both the heavies, POW having Inspire and Leader, and then Pistan having your range 1 to 4, 5 dice total, impact 1, ion 1 for anti-armor, period. If you wanted any kind of like comms, you can on them. And then say that we wanted to go with the Rebel Veterans because they can kind of go long range, or you can go with the Troopers. And then if we do have the veterans, we're going with the Mark II. We'll give it heavy on the Rebel Veterans, critical 2 with their heavy, and then critical 1 with the range 1 to 4 just Rebel Troopers. 10 activations, you got 25 points left to kind of do with what you want. You've got 5 units that can infiltrate in, and then 5 units right now that can just go normal. If again you wanted to have that secret mission, you can probably get rid of, because I feel like, with Rogue One, secret mission is a lot of fun. We could probably get rid of one of these guys. R2D2 is 55, so we'd have to get rid of 4 more points somewhere. You really don't need comms jammer, especially if you wanted to keep stuff on Jyn. Get rid of that. 799, 11 activations with R2, K2. So that would be really cool with K2 and calculate the odds. Choose a friendly trooper unit at range 1 in line of sight, which maybe you keep R2D2 next to K2. You use calculate the odds to give R2D2 that suppression token. No one can attack R2D2 because he's got the suppression token, and no one can attack K2 because, of the, if R2 and K2 are still near others, because you can still attack R2 if he's the only one. So when an enemy unit performs an attack, if you have at least 1 suppression token, it must attack another unit if able. So that's also probably why you're going to want to keep other units near as much as possible, which isn't bad, but that would give at least R2 the chance because you're not bringing C3PO, which also has to calculate the odds. Now, if you wanted to, you can just probably find a way to get rid of some points somewhere, but there's no point. This is 11 activations, 5 are infiltrating in. The rest of them are all trying to do what they can to just support or go after objectives and do what they can, on the ground. But yeah, guys, what I'll do is I'll leave a link to all of these in the description below. Be sure to go to the Discord, sign up, or you don't even have to sign up, just go ahead and join. Put in any lists that you have questions about that you want us to kind of look over or see. Submit your photos. I'm enjoying some of the stuff that people are sending over here with the stuff they're painting and converting and doing what they can. The Black Sun look really good. The AA5 over here is looking really nice. Anything you just want to take photos of. I think the conversion that Emperor Atlantis had for Grievous was really cool. But yeah, go ahead and go there. And then also be sure to sign up for the burnacademy.com for $15 a month, being able to get all of the abs and core, all of the any future programs I have, video descriptions of every exercise, everything you need, coaching videos, being able to weigh yourself and track your progress and go through everything safely. That's what this is for. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully you guys stay safe, and I will hopefully hear from you guys in the comments. So leave a comment down below with any other stories you have of Jyn in them, and just, let me know. But peace out, guys.